If you own a gun in America, everything you thought you knew about your rights just took a shocking turn. A federal court ruling this November has upended the rules across the country, and the implications are massive. 10 critical gun laws have been changed, and some of these updates will directly impact how you carry, store, and defend yourself with firearms. Missing this information could put you at serious legal risk or even cost you thousands of dollars, and that's not an exaggeration. This isn't just another news story, it's a complete game changer for gun owners everywhere. From new protections for lawful self-defense to stricter accountability for government overreach, this ruling reshapes Second Amendment rights in ways most people never expected. The changes affect every aspect of gun ownership, and knowing them could mean the difference between staying fully protected or facing serious legal consequences. Some laws that seemed ironclad are now vulnerable, while protections you never had before are now fully enforced. Imagine being able to carry your firearm with confidence, defend your home without fear of crippling lawsuits, and travel across state lines without constantly worrying about legal traps. All thanks to a single historic ruling. The stakes are high and the clock is ticking. Every gun owner needs to understand these updates immediately because ignorance is no longer an option. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down all 10 law-changing updates in plain, simple language, with real-life examples that make the implications crystal clear. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how this ruling affects you and your rights, and why it's arguably the most significant Second Amendment victory in decades. Don't blink. Missing even one of these updates could cost you everything. Law 1. Strict scrutiny as the new standard. This November ruling fundamentally changes the foundation of gun laws in America. For decades, courts allowed the government to impose restrictions on firearms without proving they were truly necessary. Now, strict scrutiny, the toughest legal test in the country, is mandatory for every single gun law. Anytime the government wants to limit your gun rights, they must prove 3 things. First, a truly compelling reason, not just a convenient idea. Second, that their restriction is narrowly tailored to achieve that goal. And third, that no less restrictive alternative exists.
This isn't just a theoretical change. Thousands of gun laws across the country could now be thrown out if they fail this test. For gun owners, this means your rights are stronger than ever, but also that you must be aware of which laws are affected because the legal landscape has shifted dramatically. Law 2. Defense Civil Liability Shield for Lawful Defense. In the past, even when Americans successfully defended themselves, civil lawsuits could destroy their lives financially. Imagine shooting a burglar breaking into your home at 2 a.m., facing no criminal charges, only to have the attacker's family sue you for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Cases like this happened in Ohio and California. The November ruling changes everything. If you lawfully use your firearm in self-defense, you now have absolute immunity from civil lawsuits. The burden is entirely on anyone trying to sue you. They must prove criminal wrongdoing before a case can even begin. This is an enormous victory for self-defense, protecting not just your life, but your financial security and peace of mind. Law 3. Police accountability for violating gun rights. For decades, qualified immunity allowed officers to avoid responsibility even when clearly breaking the law. Under this ruling, that shield no longer protects them in cases of Second Amendment violations. Officers who seize legally owned firearms without probable cause can now be held personally liable. Take, for example, a Virginia incident where a man's concealed carry handgun was unlawfully confiscated during a traffic stop. The officer faced a $300,000 judgment. This ruling doesn't just protect your property, it creates real consequences for unlawful government action, ensuring your rights are respected on the street and in your daily life. Law 4. Sensitive place restrictions narrowed. Previously, states like New York, New Jersey, and California used a clever loophole, labeling almost every public location a sensitive place where guns were banned. This ruling now establishes a strict 2-part test. Only locations with real security measures, like metal detectors or armed officers, qualify. A public park or coffee shop sign no longer counts. This forces states to slash their sensitive place lists by up to 80%, giving gun owners more freedom to legally carry in everyday life. Private businesses can still set their rules, but government overreach is dramatically curtailed. Law 5. Carry permit processing timelines. Bureaucratic delays have long been a tactic to prevent lawful carry. Some states held applications for months, even over a year, hoping applicants would give up. Now, the ruling mandates states approve or deny applications within 60 days. If they fail, your permit is automatically approved. States cannot request additional documents unless a legal deficiency is cited in writing. This change ensures Americans can exercise their rights efficiently without being trapped in endless government red tape. Law 6. Ammunition storage mandates struck down. Some states had rules requiring ammunition to be stored separately from firearms, making them virtually useless in emergencies. Massachusetts, California, and even counties in Illinois had regulations that slowed access to your gun when you needed it most. The November ruling strikes these mandates down, affirming that you can store your firearms and ammunition together in the way that best protects your life. This ensures real self-defense capability without arbitrary government interference. Law 7. Firearm registry prohibitions enforced. Federal law has banned national gun registries since 1986, but some states found loopholes. California maintained detailed records of every handgun sale, while Hawaii required all firearms to be registered with police. The ruling orders these registries dismantled, with confirmation to gun owners that their information has been deleted. States resisting compliance face contempt charges and daily fines. This is a historic enforcement of privacy rights for gun owners, removing intrusive tracking systems that have been quietly undermining freedoms for decades. Law 8. Federal Firearms License (FFL) Reform. For years, the ATF used technical paperwork violations to shut down gun businesses. A transposed number or wrong ink color could cost a dealer their license. The November ruling now limits revocations strictly to criminal violations, requiring written warnings and reasonable time to correct honest mistakes. This levels the playing field for small dealers, prevents bureaucratic abuse, and ensures law-abiding businesses can operate without fear of arbitrary government interference. Law 9. Concealed carry reciprocity expanded. Previously, state-to-state permit recognition was a patchwork nightmare, leaving many law-abiding carriers vulnerable to arrest when crossing borders. Now, a national baseline is established. If your permit is valid in one state, at least 42 other states must recognize it. No additional requirements can be imposed. Traveling across the country with your firearm is now far simpler and safer, giving law-abiding gun owners the freedom to carry without constant legal uncertainty. Law 10. Enhanced Castle Doctrine protections. Using a firearm to defend your home was once a double battle, defending yourself and then defending against the prosecution. Prosecutors often pursued charges aggressively, even in clear-cut cases. The November ruling now shifts the burden of proof entirely to the prosecution. If you lawfully defend yourself in your home or on your property, authorities must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that your actions were unjustified. This is a massive shift in favor of homeowners, ensuring that self-defense is respected, not punished. These 10 laws together represent the most significant shift in Second Amendment rights in decades. They strengthen your ability to carry, protect, and use firearms legally while holding government agencies accountable. From stricter scrutiny of laws to immunity from civil lawsuits to nationwide permit reciprocity, this ruling empowers gun owners like never before. Understanding these changes isn't optional, it's essential. The difference between knowing these laws and being blindsided could mean freedom or facing a legal nightmare. Every gun owner in America needs to understand exactly how this ruling affects them. Your ability to defend yourself, your family, and your property has just been reinforced by historic legal precedent. These laws aren't theoretical, they are real protections you can rely on today. From the moment this ruling was issued, states are being forced to comply, and gun owners are already seeing results. Whether it's faster permit approvals, the dismantling of registries, or new protections at home, the impact is immediate and profound. If you take nothing else from this, remember that these changes are about empowerment and protection. They remove outdated barriers, prevent bureaucratic abuse, and ensure that your rights under the Second Amendment are not just words on paper, but enforceable, meaningful freedoms. Every responsible gun owner should internalize these updates, adjust their practices, and take advantage of the new protections to carry, store, and defend themselves with confidence.